My name is Dr. Ben David, and I experienced a heart attack at the age of 58 while immersed in research on the serene waters of the Sea of Galilee. For a haunting 23 minutes, I was no longer among the living. To be honest, my life hadn't been particularly spiritual. I am a scientist, more specifically a limnologist dedicated to the study of freshwater ecosystems. That's a sophisticated term for someone who dedicates their life to studying freshwater lakes and rivers. For 3 decades, the Sea of Galilee, known to us as the Kinneret, was my workplace and my passion. My existence revolved around numbers, water samples, algae bloom reports, and sonar readings, all of which painted a vivid picture of this remarkable ecosystem. I could easily share the oxygen saturation levels at a depth of 50 feet, yet when it comes to discussing God, my words falter. I was born in Haifa, and as a Jew, I hold deep respect for our traditions and our rich history. However, my true faith lies in data, the tangible, measurable, and provable aspects of life. My wife, Leah, was the spiritual anchor of our home. Each week, she would light the Shabbat candles, and I would find myself captivated by the flickering flames, pondering the intricate physics of combustion. While Leah poured her heart into prayers for our daughter Maya, who was studying abroad, I took a different approach. I focused on the practical side, sending Maya money, convinced that it was the most helpful way to support her. I cherished my family above all else in this world, yet my understanding of life came not from prayer but through the lens of a microscope. I placed my faith in what I could observe. That morning unfolded like countless others before it, with the sun gradually rising to dispel the lingering morning mist. The water lay still, smooth as glass. I was out on my boat, the Water Strider, gathering samples. As I leaned over the side, I dipped a vial into the cool, crystal-clear water. My mind wandered to the troubling decline in salinity levels, a typical day, yet one filled with pressing thoughts. Then the pain began. It wasn't a sharp sting, like the slice of a knife. Instead, it was a suffocating weight, as if the entire lake was pressing down on my chest. I struggled to breathe. My hands grew numb. And in that moment of despair, the vial slipped from my grasp, vanishing into the depths of the water. I clutched my chest, a wave of panic washing over me. My analytical mind, the mind of a scientist, raced to dissect the symptoms. Could this be a heart attack? The pressure felt unbearable. Or was it a stroke? In a haze of confusion, I reached for the radio, my fingers fumbling in a desperate attempt to find help. I found myself in desperate need of assistance. My hand trembled uncontrollably, and then, just like that, everything faded away. The pain that had gripped me vanished without a trace. The overwhelming pressure lifted, and the bright morning sun gradually melted into a gentle, serene darkness. It wasn't a frightening void. Rather, it was a tranquil, silent emptiness, a complete cessation of all that had been. In an instant, I became aware once more, but this time, I was not in my body. I found myself in a different realm. As I gazed down, I spotted my boat, and there, slumped over the side, was my own body. One hand still stretched out, desperately reaching for the radio. The gentle waves rocked the boat back and forth, creating a soothing rhythm in the midst of the chaos. It was an odd experience. There was no trace of fear, only a serene, detached curiosity. It felt as if I were watching a scene unfold from a movie. I saw my own face, pale and devoid of emotion, and a profound sadness washed over me. Yet it wasn't for myself that I felt this sorrow. My heart ached for Leah and for Maya. They had no idea where I was. In the distance, I spotted a fishing boat turning in my direction. Someone had noticed me. I watched as they accelerated, men shouting in urgency, and one of them pulled out a phone to call for help. I sensed that I should be anxious, yet instead, I was enveloped in a deep sense of tranquility. The world's troubles, my research, and my personal worries seemed to drift away, distant echoes of a tale I had read long ago. Then, the darkness enveloping me began to transform. It wasn't a tunnel of light, as the stories often describe. Instead, it felt as though the darkness itself was being infused with a presence. A warmth began to blossom at the heart of the stillness, It was a warmth that felt both ancient and refreshingly new. As it intensified, it grew brighter and brighter, yet it never hurt my eyes. This was not a light perceived through sight. It was a light that resonated deep within my soul. And then I saw him. He stood bathed in a radiant light, a presence that felt almost otherworldly. He wasn't just a figure from a painting hanging in a church. He was undeniably real, more real than the boat I had just departed. He embodied pure love and pure light, a vision that filled my heart with warmth and wonder. Enveloped in a form that my mind struggled to comprehend, he stood before me in a simple robe. Yet there was something extraordinary about him. It was as if the light emanated from within. While I couldn't discern the fine details of his face, his eyes were unmistakable. Those eyes. I am a scientist, dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of life through the lens of a microscope. Yet, despite my countless observations, I have never encountered anything quite like his eyes. They didn't merely see me, they understood me. They recognized Avi, the little boy who once trembled in the shadows of the dark. They understood the teenager who experienced his first heartbreak. They were aware of every mistake I had ever made, every concealed shame, and every secret doubt I harbored about my own worth. Yet in their eyes there was no judgment. There existed a love so profound, so all-encompassing, that it brought my spirit to its knees. At first I had no idea who he was. All I knew was that I had found my home. The sensation was nothing short of overwhelming, a culmination of every joy I had ever experienced, amplified 1,000,000 times over. It was a moment that encapsulated everything: the boundless love of your mother, the unwavering pride of your father, the sheer joy of your wedding day, and the overwhelming emotion of holding your child for the very first time. All of these feelings converged into one perfect instant that seemed to stretch on forever. Tears that I no longer had the ability to shed flowed down a face I no longer owned. Then he spoke. His voice wasn't merely a sound that traveled through the air to reach my ears. It was a profound truth that filled my mind directly. It resonated with the power of thunder, yet carried the softness of a whisper. When he uttered my name, Avi, I felt an undeniable recognition. In that single word, I understood. This was Yeshua, Jesus, the one my wife prayed to, the figure I had always respected as a historical icon and a remarkable Jewish teacher, but never before as this. The very source of all life. I found myself at a loss for words. Here I was, a man who prided himself on his command of language and data, yet I had nothing to offer. He smiled, and in that moment, the warmth of the light around us seemed to intensify. "You have dedicated your life to studying water," he said. "Now I want to show you the water that truly matters." He captured my attention, and in an instant the scene around us transformed. We found ourselves floating above the Sea of Galilee, but this was not the lake I had always known. This version was nothing short of perfect. The water was a pristine crystal, transparent from the surface down to the very bottom. It shimmered with an inner glow, illuminating everything beneath its surface. Every fish darting through the depths, every plant swaying gently, and every stone resting on the lake bed was clearly visible, each pulsating with a soft, sacred light. It pulsed with a vitality I could never fully quantify. "This," he said, "is how it was always meant to be. This is the essence of my people when it is untainted, brimming with love, genuine worship, and the grace of forgiveness." I stood there, captivated by the scene before me. The beauty was unlike anything I had ever witnessed on earth. Then he directed my gaze to something else. With a pointed finger, I watched as a single tiny drop of a dark substance, reminiscent of thick black oil, plummeted into the pristine crystal-clear water. It struck the surface and refused to dissolve, lingering there like a dark stain. Then, another drop fell, followed by yet another. "What is that?" I asked, my thoughts reaching him in an instant. His face transformed, revealing a profound sadness. "Watch," he said softly. He revealed a vision to me. It depicted a family gathered around a dinner table. They were passing dishes to one another, yet their expressions were anything but warm. The father was hurling harsh words at his son, while the mother remained silent, her heart heavy with resentment towards her husband. The son sat at the table, his gaze fixed on a plate brimming with rebellion and anger. In the midst of their silent battle, another drop of thick black oil plummeted into the serene waters of the beautiful lake. He pointed out a woman on the phone, engaged in a conversation with her friend. She found herself gossiping about another woman from her community, revealing a secret that wasn't hers to tell. Her words dripped with judgment, heavy and sharp. As she continued her tale, another drop fell into the water, this time darker, almost tinged with red. He pointed out a man in a place of worship, his hands raised high as he uttered beautiful prayers. He appeared holy, radiating an aura of devotion. Yet in that moment, Jesus granted me a glimpse into the man's heart. Beneath the surface of his piety lay a deep, chilling resentment towards a neighbor whom he believed had wronged him in business years ago. He had never truly let it go. As he recited his eloquent yet hollow prayers, a thick, slow-moving drop of reddish-black sludge oozed from his heart and plopped into the lake. I paused for a moment, a realization dawning on me. This wasn't pollution I could quantify. It was a moment steeped in spirituality. "This is unforgiveness," Jesus said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "This is judgment. This is bitterness. This is the pride that elevates itself above a brother or sister." Each drop may seem insignificant, yet together they create a profound impact. Before we continue, just one request. Please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep going. But I want you to witness the transformation that unfolded before my eyes. As the perspective widened, what I saw filled me with horror. The entire Sea of Galilee was shifting in color, morphing into a murky, blood-red hue. It wasn't the vibrant red of life. Instead, it was the dark, unsettling red of a wound that had festered and gone awry. The water was thick and suffocating, devoid of light. I caught sight of the fish, once vibrant and shimmering with life. Now drifting lifelessly to the surface, their bellies turned upward. They gasped for breath, succumbing to the toxic waters that surrounded them. The plants stood withered and gray, their vitality stripped away. What was once a vibrant lake, a source of life and energy, had transformed into a desolate sea of death. This was the chilling reality we faced. It wasn't a distant future we were contemplating. It was the condition of our hearts in this very moment. "The heart of my people," he said, his voice heavy with sorrow, "has transformed into a vast Red Sea. They are suffocating in their own unforgiveness, clinging to their offenses as if they were precious treasures. In doing so, they erect towering walls of pride and judgment. They approach me with prayers on their lips, yet their hearts are heavy with stones for their neighbors. They are parched, yearning for compassion, while simultaneously drowning in a tide of their own bitterness." At that moment, tears began to stream down my face. I witnessed it all: the petty arguments, the political rifts, the pride rooted in religion, and the bitter family feuds. Each small act of unkindness and every refusal to forgive was like a drop of poison, slowly seeping into our lives. We were inflicting this harm upon ourselves. "Is there no hope?" I asked, my soul heavy with despair. "Is it too late?" Jesus gazed at me, and in his eyes I saw a flicker of love piercing through the sadness. "Never," he whispered softly. Then he revealed another vision to me. I spotted a young woman sitting alone in her car, tears streaming down her face as she clutched her phone tightly. In that moment, I felt a profound connection to her pain. She was in the midst of a heated argument with her father, a conflict that had cut her deeply. The words exchanged between them had left scars that lingered for years, echoing in her heart. Every part of her yearned to cling to her anger. It felt justified, it felt right. Yet in that moment, I watched her take a deep breath. She whispered a quiet prayer, "God help me." Her fingers trembled as she began to type a message. I watched as the words materialized on her screen. "Dad, what you said hurt me. but I choose to forgive you. I love you." As she pressed send, a profound moment unfolded before me. In that instant, Jesus revealed a vision of what transpired in the spirit realm. A solitary drop of liquid, representing her pain, fell from her heart into the vast, tumultuous Red Sea. But this drop wasn't black or red. It was pure liquid gold. It embodied light itself. When it touched the surface of that tainted water, it didn't merely float, it unleashed ripples of radiant, clean light. The red recoiled from its brilliance. Just a foot or two from the edge of the drop, the water transformed into a crystal-clear oasis. In that small circle of clarity, a struggling fish swam in, and as it entered, its gills began to flutter. Miraculously, it came back to life. Then he directed my attention to a man who was visiting his elderly mother in a nursing home. She could hardly recognize him. Yet there he was, sitting beside her, holding her hand, and speaking to her with a warmth and patience that required nothing in return. It was a genuine act of love. And as he offered his kindness, another drop of golden light fell into the sea, creating yet another circle of life. He introduced me to individuals from diverse backgrounds and beliefs who made the conscious choice to listen to one another rather than shout over each other. They opted for mercy instead of judgment, and chose to serve the less fortunate rather than indulge their own pride. With each act of genuine, humble, and selfless love, they demonstrated the power of compassion and understanding. Another golden drop descended, creating ripples in the clear water that expanded outward, merging and pushing back the dreadful red. This is the only way. Jesus revealed to me. It's not complicated. It's not a hidden doctrine. It is forgiveness. It is a love rooted in humility. It's the ability to see my reflection in the very person you wish to despise the most. That's how you begin to clear the murky waters one drop at a time. I grasped it all. I truly understood everything. The data, the science, it all faded into mere shadows. This was my reality. I gazed at him, enveloped in his perfect peace and love, and I felt an overwhelming desire to remain in that moment forever. "Please," I implored, my entire being yearning for his presence. "Let me stay here with you. I'm so tired. I don't want to go back there." He placed a hand gently on my shoulder, and in that moment it felt as if a universe of peace was flowing into me. His sad smile reappeared, and with a tenderness in his voice he said, "Avi, your research isn't complete yet. You have a new sample to deliver. Return and share what you witnessed. Speak of the crimson sea that resides within their hearts. Convey my sorrow for them and let them know I have bestowed upon them the remedy. Remind them that the golden drops of love still possess the power to cleanse the entire sea once more. Your daughter needs her father. Your wife needs her husband. Go, tell them." The thought of leaving him was the most excruciating pain I had ever experienced. It was a profound agony, a deep rending of my very soul. I longed to scream, to cling to him, and never let go. Yet I understood the truth in his words. I had a mission. He gazed at me one final time, and in that moment, his eyes infused me with a strength that felt foreign, yet empowering. "I will be with you," he assured me. Then, gradually, the light began to dim. The warmth that enveloped me started to retreat, and the profound sense of being known and loved began to fade. For just a fleeting second, the cold silence of the void crept back in. Then suddenly fire. A surge of pure heat coursed through my chest, jolting me awake. My eyes snapped open and I realized I was no longer floating. I was flat on my back inside my boat. Above me loomed a man, a paramedic, his face etched with urgency as he held paddles in his hands. He shouted something that I couldn't quite grasp. The sun blazed overhead, its light blinding me. My chest felt as if it had been shattered open with a hammer. I drew in a deep, ragged breath. My first breath of this new life. We did it. We got him. "We've got a pulse," someone shouted, breaking through the haze of my confusion. I felt cold and drenched, the chill seeping into my bones. Above me, the rhythmic thumping of a helicopter echoed in the air, a lifeline amidst the chaos. As they hoisted me out of the boat, I caught sight of the frantic faces of the fishermen who had rescued me, their expressions a mix of urgency and relief. I gazed up at the vast expanse of deep blue sky above me. The world felt overwhelmingly loud, chaotic, and painfully different from the serene place I had just come from. I vividly recall waking up in the hospital, disoriented and confused. Beside me sat my wife, Leah, her eyes swollen and red from tears. My daughter, Maya, sat on a video call with a tablet in her hands, her face a poignant mix of tears and relief. Moments later, the doctor entered the room. He was someone I recognized, a colleague from Haifa. He glanced at my chart, then met my gaze before returning his attention to the document in his hands. "Avi," he said, shaking his head in disbelief. "I'm not sure how to put this into words. The rescue team arrived too late. Your heart had stopped beating. There was no fibrillation, no electrical activity whatsoever. For a full 23 minutes, you were clinically dead. No oxygen reaching your brain. By all accounts, you shouldn't even be here, or at the very least, you should be grappling with severe, irreversible brain damage. Yet, here you are, perfectly fine. Your brain scans reveal nothing but pristine results. It's nothing short of a miracle." I simply nodded in response, knowing he had no idea of the full story. "My name is Dr. Avi Ben David. Throughout my life, I dedicated myself to studying the water trapped within a lake. However, it wasn't until I faced death that I truly discovered the profound truth about the water of life that flows within our own hearts. The message that Jesus imparted to me was not meant solely for my understanding or for the people of Israel. It carries a universal significance. It's meant for you. He revealed to me that a vast ocean of bitterness is swelling within the hearts of humanity. We are becoming increasingly ill from the inside out, plagued by unforgiveness and judgment, and it's truly frightening. This turmoil is spiritually suffocating us, but he also revealed to me the true remedy, a drop of gold. It's the decision to forgive, even when it seems utterly impossible. It's the choice to love, even when hatred feels like the easier path. It's the act of embracing humility when pride beckons. I invite you to take a moment and look deep within your own heart. What color is your water? Do you see any hints of red? Are there traces of bitterness that you're clinging to? Is there someone you've been unwilling to forgive? If you find any of this within you, I urge you, with the unwavering conviction of someone who has glimpsed the other side, to let it go. You don't need to find the perfect words. All you need is a willing heart. Let go of your burdens. Allow a single golden drop of forgiveness to fall into the water. This act is for them, yes, but even more so, it's for you. Heaven is real. Jesus is alive, and he is patiently waiting, hoping that you will join him in clearing the waters.